The last 2 days of my vacation were the one with the most amount of motorbike riding. So I think that when you just go on vacation and you ride on motorbikes a lot, it's very tiring. So I think that the I will talk about like the eighth day of my vacation, which I thought was actually tiring, but I got to see a lot of view on the motorbike. So the eighth day is about going to another place that's near Da Nang, but it is kind of near and you could go on the motorbike, but it takes like 1 hour. So we were going to Hoi An, which is like a 1 hour ride on motorbike there. And I think that 1 hour is pretty long and you just sit on something for like 1 hour. Well, for 1 hour, something that is small, like just small like this, and then you will have to sit in the same position. You just can't put your leg on, or you can dangle your leg or put your leg on the motorbike or something. So I thought that it would be very tiring, much more tiring than sitting in a chair for like 2 hours. Well, I will talk about a motorbike ride and my trip to there. So the first thing what we did after we got a motorbike was of course sit on it, and then we went through the city. We went through the city to the countryside, which definitely had a lot of trees and a lot of houses, but those houses were strangely small. There weren't any tall ones. They were just like small, just one floor, but they were big and pretty long. Well, that was the countryside, and I also saw a school which was really small and old and ugly, but I think that students still study there. Well, after seeing that, my mom said that I should appreciate my school more because I didn't like my school because it was like not modern, but compared to that countryside school, then my school is like a beauty. Well, when we arrived in Hoi An, Hoi An is like a place filled with old houses. Well, they weren't old, but they were old-fashioned ones. They were all yellow, and there were a lot of trees and trees with flowers there. And I thought it was kind of beautiful, like very beautiful, and it would be like really fun to live in the house like that. Well, I don't think it's actually funny when I say it because, well, living in houses like that, it means that that place doesn't have, like almost doesn't have any shop with air conditioning in it. Well, when we got there, like my mother parked the motorbike there because Hoi An, there are a few places in Hoi An that doesn't allow cars or motorbikes to go in. We could only walk. And so my mother and I walked to a coffee shop, which she thought like she really liked it. So we walked there, and of course there were no air conditioning there, and the fans were working. Like we were just sitting there drinking our thing, but then the fan, it just suddenly stopped. We couldn't turn it off. Well, that was pretty bad because, well, the first floor was full. And the second floor was almost full, but we stayed on the second floor because it had fans and everything in it. And the third floor was like a balcony, and you didn't have like any. It was hot and sunny. You didn't have almost any shade there, and there were only a few fans. It wasn't crowded, but I preferred the second floor more because there were many fans and like those kind of things there. And we went to the coffee shop, and like after the coffee, me and my mother went just to walk around and took a whole lot of pictures. And after that, we went to have lunch because it was kind of late. So we had lunch, and mother told me about a restaurant that is really nice and that has really good food. But well, it was crowded, and there were lines of people waiting there, like a whole line. It was like the line there at the castle in Da Nang. So we just picked a random restaurant, which serves rice with like some kind of rice with chicken. I don't really like chicken, but I like the rice. And well, I also like my mother's drink there because well, that shop serves drink. And I choose like a lemonade. Well, it wasn't exactly like lemonade. It wasn't something that I had ever tasted before, but I knew it was definitely unlemonade. And my mother thought so too. My mother, she ordered a yogurt mixed with ice, and I thought it was kind of good, even if it was just yogurt with ice in it. So after the meal, while me and my mother, when we got out of the restaurant, we saw the restaurant my mother said has very good food, and we saw that there was still a line of people waiting, and just waiting there for the meal. Because well, it was a long time. We've been in a restaurant for like 1 hour, but when we got out, there were still many people waiting, and I just can't believe why they can wait for actually wait for 1 hour, which is really really long. Well, after that, me and mother, well, I asked my mother if we could go to a coffee shop again because well, I was just tired, and usually after I either want to like just sit and do nothing or just do something, just sit. I just want to sit. And well, I was lucky to come across a coffee shop with air conditioning in it. So I asked my mother if we could go in, and my mother just say that well we should we should just take pictures and wander around. But I persuaded her to come into the air conditioning, and she said it was actually good too. Because well, air conditioning in a really hot place, it was the summer. The summer, the sun was blazing hot, and when you go into air conditioning, then you feel like you're in heaven because, well, you're really hot at one point, but when you meet some cold air, then you will feel really lucky. Especially when you're in a place that almost has, like a place that shop almost has no air conditioning. And well, we stayed there for like a really, really, really long time. Like really long. We were just sitting there, and I asked my mother, and when she said to go, I asked my mother if we could have like 30 more minutes because I didn't want to go after the heat. And well, finally, I definitely had to go. I just couldn't stay there forever. So when we got out, well, my mother said that we could go to the bridge to just take pictures, And during those time, we also took a whole lot of other pictures. And I thought that those pictures were like it was so sunny, and those pictures I think that it would be really sunny too. So it might be hard to see my face or my body or anything of me. But I thought the pictures were actually nice, even if I had to go out to the sun and I kept refusing to take pictures. And when we were almost at the bridge, then we met some kind of lady who asked us to go into the spa, but my mother said no because we're going to the bridge to take some pictures. But today the lady said that we shouldn't because it was crowded, the bridge was crowded, and it was really, really sunny, and we should just go to the spa instead. But my mother didn't, so we didn't go to the bridge anymore because she said so. It was her advice, but we didn't even go to a spa, which I thought that was lucky because I didn't know if the spa even had air conditioning or not. So after that, me and my mother walked home. But on the way home, we walked to the place where we parked the car. Well, on the way home, she saw like a place where they sell those kind of sweets, like sweet soup or something. It wasn't exactly soup. It was more like condensed milk or coconut milk with a bunch of some kind of stuff that is really, really sweet, and I didn't like it, but my mother loves it. So she stopped at that place to eat and buy something, and I just sit there in front of a thing so that I could like relax, even if it was still too hot, even though there was a fan blowing right into my face. And well, after that, we went home, of course, like went home on a 1 hour ride on stiffing motorbike, which I thought that my legs would like go stiff or they might freeze. Well, it wasn't like actually freeze because of cold. They might just they might freeze because they have stayed in one place for just too long. So that's what I thought my legs would be, but at least we had some kind of rest. And during the break, during the ride, my old mother also stopped at like a market with with some kind of restaurants, really small ones, some shops that sell drinks and sell food. And when we stopped there, my mother told me about one of her favorite shops there, which sell like something of avocado, um, oh yes, avocado ice cream and some kind of other fruit ice cream, but the main thing there was avocado. So I thought that those avocado ice cream was actually kind of good, and I did like it, but I would prefer something else instead of avocado because I don't really like avocado when it is mixed with something. I only like it like eating the fruit, not the ice cream or the drink or something. So that ended our trip because well then we went home and my mother ordered some food there because we were like just too tired to move. Or my mother wasn't too tired, but I was too tired and too lazy then, and we ordered some really bad food that cost a lot of money. But I don't mean bad like it's wrong. I mean that the taste is bad, and that's what I thought about the food because everything was like spicy. Almost everything was spicy. Even the noodles were spicy, and those things, the ketchup or those stuffs were spicy. And after I ate it, I had to go to like a coffee shop right next to the apartment to order some drinks because well I was too like it was just too spicy. And after that, me and my mother went to like a bridge like dragon bridge, and we watched some kind of dragons breathing out fire, and we also stood there, and I think that was yesterday, the 7th day. So the 8th day, we watched fireworks. We saw a lot of fireworks, and it was like the Vietnamese firework, and the China. So at first I thought that I thought that we could like park our motorbike on the bridge, right on the bridge to watch the fireworks, but we couldn't because we saw some police officers driving some people with motorbikes on there on the bridge, driving them back down. So my mother first decided to just go across the bridge and go again and again and again like that so that we could watch the fireworks. But then my mother decided that we should just walk and stay in one place. And that's what we did. We walked the whole way, like 1/3 of the bridge. But that bridge, was very, very long. Like very long, really long. And although going by motorbike only takes 5 minutes, I thought that the walk to 1/4 of the bridge took like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It was really long and tiring, but at least I thought I might lose some weight walking like that. Well, after those fireworks, we went home and we go to bed like normal, like every day, except that we watched fireworks and we stayed up late. But I thought that the firework was actually beautiful. Maybe the Chinese one was more beautiful because Chinese, they created fireworks. So they would know more about fireworks and how to make it really, really beautiful. Well, that is all about this 8th day of my vacation. And soon I will tell you about the 9th day, which is the very last day of my vacation. So that is all about the 8th day, and thank you for listening.